So ICE promised y'all $50,000 and now they ghosted you? Welcome to the Trump University of Payday Scams. Now, you really can't make this up. ICE was out here talking about, help us deport immigrants and we'll give you a $50,000 bonus. And folks jumped up ready to play bounty hunter. It was like Dog the Bounty Hunter, MAGA edition. But now, now ICE is walking that back. That money, gone. The bonus, canceled. The promise, that was about as real as a $2 bill with Trump's face on it. And honestly, I'm sitting here like, how were y'all shocked by that? Y'all dealing with a man who has a rap sheet, a long rap sheet about not paying people. This is the same dude who stiffed contractors. He skipped out on lawyers. This dude even sold people fake degrees from a fake university. And y'all thought y'all was going to get paid. I need to tell you something. This was never about rewarding you. See, you were just a prop for the photo ops, the press releases, the tough on immigration talking points that Kristi Noem likes to do. You were basically a resource to be used for theatrics. And now you're left with nothing but the gas receipts and the embarrassment of the fact that you got played. Well, at least you can say you learned some lesson that millions of others have learned. When it comes to the MAGA crowd, you don't work for them. You pay for the privilege of being used. Honestly, you couldn't write this as satire or a movie if you tried to. But apparently, it ain't hard taking people for a ride because so many people don't mind being passengers.
ICE is recruiting agents with a $50,000 signing bonus. But that's money they may never get. It's tied to a 5-year contract, so they get the $50,000 over 5 years of working for ICE. So if an agent leaves before 5 years, they'd have to pay some of the money back. The only way they get the full amount is if MAGA stays in office until 2030. So this private police force is financially motivated to keep the administration in power.
Hey people, welcome back to the channel. So this video going viral is making a very bold claim that ICE agents were promised a $50,000 a bonus and now they are saying they've been scammed. But let's slow down and actually understand what's going on here. From what's publicly known, that $50,000 isn't just handed over at once. It's actually structures over time, meaning you only get it fully if you stay for a full contract cycle. Now, here is where the issue comes in. Some people are saying they didn't understand the fine print. Others are complaining about delays. And then there are also voices online exaggerating the situation completely. So the real question is this actually a scam or is it people reacting to terms they didn't fully read? Because those are two different things. Also, let's be honest, social media can turn anything into a dramatic headline. One post becomes 10 becomes a narrative, and suddenly everybody believes something without checking facts. At the same time, if workers feel frustrated, unpaid, and misled, that's still a serious issue that deserves attention. So instead of just laughing or picking sides, I think the real takeaway here is this: always understand what you're signing up for, especially when money is involved, because I don't trust nobody with money. And never rely on headlines alone. But I want to hear from you guys. Do you think this is misinformation, misunderstanding, or something deeper going on? So I have put together clips for you guys just to make you understand what's going on, and then let's meet in the comment section down below. Also, if you're new on my channel, please subscribe, share this video with your friends, and give me a thumbs up. And if you appreciate what I am doing, please send super thanks. Thank you.
Are you thinking about swallowing your morals and joining ICE for that potential $50,000 signing bonus? Well, think again. I'm sure you're thinking you can get that bonus and then quit. No, it's paid over installments over the course of 5 years. And yes, it's contingent on a 5-year contract. So if you decide to leave early and you take a lot of that bonus, you'll have to pay it all back. And what happens when Trump leaves office in 3 years? Do you really think you're going to get that signing bonus? Are you delusional enough to think that the next president, who will undoubtedly be a Democrat, will hold that up for you? Probably not, but you can certainly make that argument from jail. Remember how Congress can't agree on anything and we constantly have government shutdowns because we argue over funding? What happens when we lose federal funding for your contract? Do you think you're still going to get that bonus? I almost forgot. Remember when one of y'all murdered a U.S. citizen? Trump can argue for federal immunity all he wants, but you are not going to get state immunity. I guess you're going to need that signing bonus so that you can pay your lawyers back when you get sued.
Well, it looks like those ICE agents are as stupid as they look. They're not getting those $50,000 bonuses. Many of them haven't received anything. And those who have said that it is a lot less than they were promised after taxes and deductions. One guy said he only got between $5,000 and $6,000. Some said they've been working for over a month without a paycheck, and it's been months, and they haven't even gotten their health insurance yet. And they've had to lay out money because, as it turns out, kids get sick. They brought so many agents on so quickly that one administrator called it a shit show. And I don't feel bad for these agents. They get everything that they deserve. How did they not know that Trump was going to screw them over? He screws everybody over. They thought they were really going to get $50,000 just transferred into their bank accounts from the U.S. government. Trump doesn't do anything for anybody but himself. They're getting used, and they're being used on our streets to murder people. So I don't really feel bad for these guys at all.
ICE agents are now complaining about their bonus they are not receiving. But you know what? They didn't read the fine print. Word on the curb is that you have to be an agent for 5 years before you get that. Some complaining, stating that other agents have gotten their bonus. Well, let's see how that works for all of you. This is the love that the government shows each and every one of you. Oh, and by the way, just because you sign on, don't think that you're going to have that big check the following day after signing on. It don't work like that. And let's not forget about those taxes being deducted out of that check. It's Shampoo News, y'all. Thank you for listening. Share, repost, comment, and be blessed. Toodles.
I am really trying to find it within my heart to care about these ICE agents that do not have insurance and are upset because they haven't got their sign-up bonus. Okay? I'm having a hard time trying to find that care, that empathy that I have all the time for everyone else, but not for them. Not for them. The fact that they really thought that they were going to get $50K in 1 year is unbelievable to me. It is divvied up for 5 years, so that's like $10K each year. Now, it'd be really interesting to know if anybody received the first $10K, because this administration lies to everyone. And how come you don't have insurance? Usually at every federal job, when it's a normal administration, you get it either at the very beginning, maybe if you're by yourself, but within 90 days, you have insurance coverage, you and your whole family. But this is not happening. You have to ask yourself why. And then you have to also take in consideration, knowing this administration, why you sold your people out. And you know I'm talking to the black and brown people. You sold your own people out because you were trying to catch that check. Now that job pays like 60 to 70,000, and if you get 10,000, okay, that's 80,000. Okay, now maybe you're factoring per diem and TDY and all that bullshit, but it's still not enough. You guys have the audacity to go on Reddit and just complain. I'm just going to tell you right now, most Americans wish you the worst. Especial, esos Latino ICE agents. Tú no vale nada. Tú ni vale la pena. Self-hating traitor. Adios.
Well. Many new recruits who have started working for ICE have come out to Reddit and stated that they have not received the bonus that was promised to them if they decided to work for ICE. And if you didn't know, ICE was advertising how anybody that decided to come and work for them, they would give them a huge incentive. And for those of you that haven't got paid, you're not going to. Because let me share something with you. If it's not in your contract, it's not going to happen. Because if the government doesn't put it in your contract, the government's not going to pay you. The government is very slow to pay what they owe if it's in a contract, but they're very quick to take what is owed to them, even if it's not in a contract. So if I were you, I'd go back and I'd read my contract down to the fine print, because whether or not you're going to receive that incentive that you should have received a while back is in that packet. And if you don't find it in that packet, then it was never promised. It was just he said, she said. And fun fact, even if it's not in your contract, and you're like, hey, but this was advertised, the government doesn't care because they don't like to pay what they owe if they don't really owe it. Any veteran or service member can tell you that. Okay, bye.
Did you see that ICE agents have taken to Reddit to complain that they haven't gotten their $50,000 bonus, they're not getting paid, and that they're having a hard time getting their health insurance for their children? This comes from the unofficial Reddit page for ICE officers. And since the Trump administration started its mass deportation campaign, this page has become a place for ICE agents to talk about issues they're having at work. Some people have gone on there to say that after weeks of working as a federal agent, they still haven't been paid. Others are having a hard time getting medical insurance. Like this person who wrote, "Been here for about 2 months, still waiting for my health insurance. And that MSS told me they don't know how long it'll take, and I have a sick daughter with no insurance." And of course, one of the biggest things people are talking about is the bonuses. That they either haven't gotten the $50,000 bonus or that after taxes, it's not much. Creators online have broken down on how exactly the money works, and that the money is taxed, and that there are a lot of ways that agents might be forced to pay back that money, especially after the midterm election and if Democrats come into power. A lot of people went in there expecting this kind of money, and I told them, first of all, they were never going to get that money, and if they did get that money, to make sure that they save that money for lawyers. Because ICE agents are also asking questions about qualified immunity, and if they can be charged criminally for what they're doing, hoping that Trump will grant everyone immunity. Agents are getting lawyers or are afraid that they're going to have to start getting lawyers very soon. But don't let this fool you into thinking that all these ICE agents are regretting their decision. No, some people commented that the reason why they're putting up with all this crap with this agency is that they do it for the violence, not the money. According to reports, the government seems to be very concerned about agents' discontent, because a lot of people could decide to leave because of all this chaos within the agency. Which, by the way, seems to be what a lot of people are hoping for, is that the Trump administration would realize that they're complaining and start doing something about it. Apparently, these people have never heard that Donald Trump does not pay. But this is what Donald Trump does. He makes a lot of promises and makes other people do the work, and then leaves them holding the bag, either financially or criminally. So share this so people can see that a lot of ICE agents are regretting the decision of joining up, not just because of what's happening in the streets, but also what's happening internally.
Because what you mean, ICE agents are starting to turn against the government, right? But hold on. Not for any moral or high ground reasons. It's simple. They have not been getting paid, right? Some have reportedly not been paid up to 6 months. So you have some who are quitting because they can't afford to stay, and you have others who take side jobs on their days off, like Uber and Uber Eats, just to make ends meet. Right? Not only that, the insurance that they were promised, right, they'd be covered as long as they were agents and even family members being covered, they still haven't seen it. They have got no coverage or anything like that, right? And third, the whole bonus thing, while a lot of them did it, well, they clearly didn't read the fine print, because a part of that was they're not going to get the money outright in just like $10,000 checks. No, that money gets baked into the salary that they haven't been getting, right? And the funny thing is, it pushes their checks into a different tax bracket. So what that does is it taxes the shit out of them. So ironically, they would make more money without the bonus because they wouldn't be in a new bracket than they do with the bonus.
Dark as it may sound, when this Trump administration is over, I think a lot of Americans are going to hear a lot of local news stories about former ICE agents self-deleting. Not necessarily trying to laugh at it or anything, but it is just going to happen. Leaked internal reports from DHS are showing that a huge number of ICE agents are on the edge of needing psychiatric intervention. They are constantly stressed, they are constantly looking over their shoulder, they are constantly terrified of the public, and they are constantly being disowned by their families. On top of all of that, the $50,000 sign-up bonus that is what enticed a lot of them to sign up is something that you only get in installments, and if you don't complete a certain number of years of service, which most, if not all of these guys will not, because the entire organization might be dissolved, or a lot of them will at least be sent home by any following administration, they have to pay those bonuses back. Once Trump is out of office one way or another and there is a subsequent administration and ICE is either dissolved or gutted, there are going to be thousands and thousands of middle-aged men who are going to be sent home where they will be shunned by society and they will be in states of dire financial insecurity. Middle-aged men who will spend the rest of their lives worrying about the inevitable day that they are identified as ICE agents and their names and faces and possibly their addresses end up on social media. Data leaks have been ongoing, and the masks have not helped them. When these middle-aged men try and reintegrate back into society, they will inevitably be shunned by their families and communities. They will also have enormous trouble getting jobs, because having a background as an ICE agent in 2026 is not something anyone wants to hire. Legislation is already being put forward so that teachers and police officers cannot be former ICE agents. And businesses that are found hiring former ICE agents will deal with protests and boycotts, and they do not want that heat. And then to top it all off, these lonely middle-aged men who are completely despondent, shunned by their communities and unable to find work will be saddled with potentially tens of thousands of dollars worth of debt from the bonuses that they half got and now have to pay back because they haven't completed their service. When you add all of those factors together, you realize that a lot of those middle-aged men are not going to hang around. You are going to hear stories of men who signed up to be ICE agents during the Trump administration in your local area taking their own lives after Trump is gone, because there will be no lives for them to go back to. Just my opinion. Follow for more.